It's funny, I pulled over to Winding River Park, which is the park by my house. I was like, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to do a video. I pull into one of the parking lots, and I go towards the back of the parking lots because I have a camera on my dashboard, right? Get some privacy. And I'm sitting there, and a car pulls up in front of me, parks. Then another car pulls up next to it and parks. And the kid gets out of the car and goes to the other car in the back seat. I'm thinking to myself, how much more obvious can you possibly be that you're doing a drug deal? I mean, I feel like everywhere I go, whether it's like a Wawa, 7-Eleven, convenience store, whatsoever, whatever it is, and say my wife runs into the store and I'm sitting in the parking lot, I see drug deals going on everywhere. I mean, it's like, I don't know if I know what's going on because I used to live that life, but where people are just getting to the point where they just don't care. I mean, they're not even hiding the fact of what they're doing. I mean, you're in a park where there's things going on, but you go to the back of the park where there's no one around, park your car, he parks next to you and he gets right out of the car and goes, and you're like, how stupid do you have to be? I mean, you should get caught. Dummies. Anyway, another rant. I've been ranting a lot. Like a angry old man lately. In today's video, I just want to hit on a topic that comes up a lot. And people will ask me what my opinion is your best chances of getting clean. What do you need to do to have the best shot at doing it? And I am a firm believer, I say this all the time, that there's no one way for anybody to get clean. There's no one formula, one thing, one step, 12-step program. Not everything's going to work for everyone. But what is usually the safest and the highest success is inpatient rehab. Now, the thing is, inpatient rehab costs a lot of money. A lot of people don't have insurance. I know all about it. It's very discouraging when you have mostly parents that contact me that have the means to send their child or whatever you want to, don't really have to call them a child. I mean, they're out of college or they're at the college age. They might not have gone to college, but they're in their mid-20s. They're not working and they have a chance to go away, get professional help. They don't have to pay for it. Their parents are going to refinance their house and whatever they got to do to save their kids. And I completely understand it. And the kids aren't ready to go. And then I talk to people in the same breath, seems like, that would do anything to go away. They would give their left leg to go get help, professional help, but they can't because they can't afford it, or they don't have the chance to leave because they have to stay home with their family. They have to work. So it's a very tough situation that there's so many people that want to go, and then there's so many people that do go that just don't take it seriously. And on a lot of occasions, there are people that have gone to inpatient rehab 3-4 times, never really wanting to go. They were pushed to go by family or whatever, where they played the game just to get out of trouble and they went to inpatient. And they've exhausted all their chances. I mean, they don't have any more money. The family's fed up. They're not going to, refinance the house again. They're not going to go $100,000 in debt. I mean, you guys wouldn't believe how much money some parents will put up. How much money some people have to try to save their kids. I mean, if it was my kid, I understand. I'd give everything I had. But then there comes a point where, it's not working. And they realize, you know what, this is just a waste of money. They're not taking it seriously. They're not really trying to get help. And the craziest part about this whole thing is that's usually the best way to go about it is inpatient. So then when they contact me, like, inpatient's not working. Are they ever going to get clean? And there's no way to look in a magic 8 ball and say, you know what, yeah, eventually down the line they will. But what happens to a lot of people, if they survive, is they get over it. They're just so sick of the lifestyle. They're sick of parking in back parking lots and getting in somebody's car that they don't really know. They don't know if they're going to get robbed or whatever. You know what I mean? They're over the lifestyle and the stress and all, the whole game just beats you senseless, okay? You feel like you're 200 years old when you're done. You really do. You feel so tired. You're just worn out. And all of the guilt of the lifestyle really catches up to you. I mean, I tell a lot of people about the fact that, you know, a lot of addicts will do dumb stuff. They will hurt a lot of people. And while they're in the act of doing it, what's feeding them to do these stupid things is the sickness that they have, and they are doing whatever they have to do to get the sickness off their back. And as soon as they get that sickness off and they feel somewhat normal, because most people aren't even getting high at that point, they get the sickness off and the guilt hits them like a brick wall. And they feel like absolute shit. And then that guilt that they have builds on them, and they want to use because of the guilt, because they don't have any coping skills. They don't even know how to deal with problems anymore, because the way they've dealt with problems for so long is by using. So it's a vicious cycle of, you know, getting high, getting sick, getting high, getting sick, not having money, stealing, getting guilty for doing that, getting high, getting sick. And it's just so much on people that it gets to a point where they're like, you know, I don't want to do it. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll go away. I'll go to Salvation Army. I'll work for my bed. I'll do it at home. There's a lot of people that do it at home that just fight through it because you get to a point where it's like the withdrawal. Yeah, it's tough. But your willpower to succeed is so much more powerful than the withdrawal. The withdrawal for a lot of people, I mean, there's things you can take and everything to help with the withdrawals, but for a lot of people it won't even matter because they are so gung-ho and so ready to go at this and take their life back that they could feel like absolute hell and it's not going to stop them. They will go about doing what they have to do because they're that motivated to just live life again. And that's the way I was. I mean, I got to a point where I was, nothing was going to stop me from doing what I needed to do. And I love when I get to talk to people that are in that scenario, because I could tell. I've talked to so many people throughout the years that I could pretty much tell if you're being real or not, and whether or not you fall into a certain criteria of people. And I tell them when I talk to them, they know, because I'll tell them straight, I'm like, you're different than a lot of people. You have a little bit extra. You're at a point where you are ready to take on anything in order to get back your life. And it's very, very apparent to me when I talk to those types of people. And I get excited. And then I follow them like crazy. Because you know, those are the types of people that are going to go on and do really remarkable things with their lives. And it's fun to stick around and watch them succeed because you saw what they were living and the lives that they were living and how tough it was for them to be held back almost because they knew they had a destiny to do more, so to speak, okay? But to get back to the original thing, inpatient is usually the best way to go about it. Outpatient's number 2. Right? Because you can go to outpatient, you can still work, you can go at nights. A lot of programs will have 1 night a week, 3 nights a week, every night a week, just depending on how hardcore you want to go, how much money you have, if you have insurance, things like that. A lot of people would rather do outpatient just because they want to be able to go home, but I highly recommend, if you have the choice between the two, to do inpatient, because getting out of your scenario, getting out of your home, for a lot of people is a huge part of getting away from triggers. Because, I mean, for most people, if they look around their bedroom, there's triggers everywhere. I mean, for their rituals and everything, they could see certain places around their house or their bedroom that will remind them of how they would get high, or what they would go. That drawer is where I would keep my stuff. And that kind of stuff that doesn't seem like a big deal is a big deal. You need to work your way back into those certain scenarios, because if you're not strong enough, those triggers can really, really affect you to a point of relapse. So it's always best to get out of the environment, get as strong as you possibly can be, then be brought back into the environment where you used to use, because you have tools, you know how to deal with certain things. You're not, you're not dope sick, and you're far from it. I mean, you're a month, 2, 3, sometimes 6 months out of that environment, and you're a stronger human being and have the tools emotionally to deal with problems and triggers. Because when triggers hit you and you're not prepared, they'll knock you on your ass. You'll start getting hot and cold flashes. Your body temperature feels like it's about to, you feel like you have a fever. You start sweating, shaking, anxiety through the roof. You start getting irritable. It's a lot at once that you don't even know what's going on, and you start freaking out, and it could lead to a relapse. So, and then of course, a lot of people like to do it at home, which is, it's a good way of doing it. It's not my first choice. Okay, just because you are in that scenario, you're in your home. For a lot of people, it's the only choice because they can't go away. They don't have insurance. And this is the overwhelming majority of people. I mean, let's face it. The middle class has, and I don't talk politics, I'm not into that kind of stuff, but the middle class has really fallen apart. I mean, a lot of people aren't as well off as they were even 10, 15 years ago. So, insurance is hard to come by. People, they don't have the jobs they used to have, and money's hard right now. It is getting better, supposedly, but it's not like it used to be. It's not like the mid-90s where everything was booming. So I understand the majority of people I talk to don't have insurance, so they're looking for other ways to go about it. And believe me, thousands of people I've talked to over the past 7 years have gotten clean at their home. It's just not my first choice. But definitely doable. What else I want to talk about is I'm going to do a video tomorrow on rituals, because somebody actually asked me to do a video on that. And I plan on doing that video tomorrow. But I like the fact that somebody, gave me an idea for a video. I love when people say, you know what, Ryan, I want to hear a video on this. And it doesn't matter if I've already talked about it, because I really believe I've talked about probably 80% of possible things to talk about on this channel. It's really hard sometimes to think of new and exciting things to talk about, because I put a lot of time and effort into this channel, and there's only so many topics possible, So if there's something you want me to hit on, I'll hit on it. And always keep in mind, I'm not a know-it-all. I don't know everything. I learn every day from people that I talk to. I'm not an expert. I've lived this life, got 7 years. I've talked with literally thousands of people. I try to, I don't even know if I want to go into this, but I went through my email account. It has an unlimited storage, and the amount of emails that are actually in there go back it's actually almost more than 7 years ago, but there's a lot in there, and it's thousands and thousands of people. So over the years, I've gained, I'm not an expert, but I've gained close to that level, I believe. So if there's topics you want me to talk about, I'll talk about them. If I don't have the answers about them, I'll ask people that I know do. I know a lot of people in this field that are way smarter than me, that have answers to pretty much everything. And when I get stumped on questions from people, I go to these people. So anything you want me to talk about, let me know. All right? And I'll try to hit up on it. If you want to share your story, actually, I got a bunch of stories today in my email. But I'm going to get back to doing stories. What's today? Today's Tuesday. So Wednesday will be rituals, and then probably Thursday and Friday I'll do some stories. And yeah, keep sharing them. Keep sending them to me. You can email me at ryan@compsupport.com. In the subject line, put YouTube story, my story. Let me know if you want to use your first or last name or stay anonymous. There was a lot of really good feedback from yesterday's video about ORT, and I really appreciate everybody, stepping in and with the nice comments, because it's the truth of the matter is it's one of those topics that there's not really much debate for it, because as time has been going on since, methadone's been around for a while, but Bupe hasn't. It's been around, but hasn't been heavily prescribed like it has been over the past 10 or so years. And as time has been going on, it's become very apparent that what I shared in yesterday's video is pretty close to factual. I'm not going to say it's a fact, but it's pretty apparent. So I appreciate everyone leaving feedback, comments, and sharing the video, and that's what the channel is all about. All right, so check out some more videos, leave some comments, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Thanks.